Good morning, Vibe Nation. Welcome back. Rain again. Literally, it's raining all week. So I thought this would actually be a perfect time to take you all through what I go through in a day as far as food, health, and fitness that keeps this 41-year-old body somehow in shape to surf and vlog and ride bikes and get in adventures and have fun. Probably should shut this before the rain starts coming in. Miley's behind the camera, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna head over and, well, first off, let me start off by saying I am the worst water drinker in the world. I've watched so many health and fitness videos lately that have been talking about when to consume water, and I was thinking how I don't consume water. So one of the things I try and do now, right off the bat, even before having any coffee, is fill this thing up, 16 ounces of water, no ice, and try and get it down as soon as possible. I've been keeping track about the amount of water that I'm taking in and I'm realizing that I am not hydrated enough. So one of the key things, especially with the amount of coffee I drink, is drinking more water. We are not exactly paleo by any means, but we have been trying to cut out the dairy. So we started doing bullet coffee. Miley normally makes these in the morning. Wish this was a little bit hotter, but we brewed it a little bit earlier. Got a little grass-fed butter, bulletproof MCT oil. This is sourced only from coconuts. A little bit of flavor, not Miley's favorite, but I do like a little cinnamon. I've never done this back in the day. I've seen a lot of people put cinnamon, losing things with my butterfingers, putting a lot of cinnamon in their coffee. Thought it was maybe like a Mexican or Latin or South American kind of vibe, but it's delicious, so we're on that train. That should probably do it. There's a little latte vibe in here. And honestly, all the work that goes into making one of these, you find yourself drinking less coffee because you can't be doing this all day long, which then gets me back on the water train. Delicious. It has almost like a soft, subtle, nutty taste and almost just feels healthier, if that's a vibe. So with not being super hungry in the morning, my food intake starts based off of how active I'm about to be. If we're getting into a surf right away, I'd like to have a little banana and a little bit of oatmeal. Typically, you want to go with some organic steel-cut oats. Unfortunately, if you look up in our cabinet, it is right now the Quaker Instant, which for convenience, it's okay, but ideally I would like something a little better than that. If I'm going straight into the office though, I don't want to carb load, so I skip the oatmeal and it's more like a single egg, 2 eggs, 1 little piece of sourdough toast, maybe a little avocado or a little avocado pack, something real simple, and then we kind of get into what's going on, but we do got to get a little yoga. I try to do the same yoga routine every morning. I start with salutation to the sun. I do other yoga throughout the day when I'm stretching, taking breaks from work, or post and pre-workouts. But we're gonna jump into that so I can show you how I get my day going. All night long for like 8 hours, we lay, our body is working while we sleep. It's doing other stuff that we don't realize. You're digesting food that you've eaten late in the night. You're, rebuilding muscles that you've strained and punished and, used the day before. And then you wake up and you've worn the weight of gravity in your own body just laying there. So it just is a nice kind of good way to get all that stuff limber and loosened up and flowing, and then you're ready to tackle the day. So I don't know, that was a vibe. I love it. It's not quite lunchtime, it's about 11:30. I normally eat lunch at about 12:15 when I'm home during the day, but I don't like having a large lunch. I like to kind of eat something a little light before lunch, like maybe 45 minutes before, and then have the rest of my protein and stuff like that at my regular sit-down lunchtime. So we're gonna grab a little snack. I'm thinking we're gonna do some almonds and some cashews. Compost, key fact. And we're gonna do some grapes. I think that's gonna be a pretty dang good snack. All right, y'all, it is just about lunchtime. We just went through a really heavy downpour. Looks like it wants to try and get sunny for a little bit, but you know what they say, it's always gonna start raining harder after that. So, that being said, I do wanna stroll right in from my office into the kitchen to get some lunch. This is normally that time, but Miley's actually off from work today and she's already in the kitchen making us some lunch, so let's cruise about 12 feet that way and see what she's got going on. What you got cooking out here?
Some of these paleo sausages.
Basil, cracked black pepper. That sounds like a vibe. A little snack over here. What do we got? Some grain-free tortilla chips. They definitely have a different consistency, but they're actually really good. And then some mild salsa that still makes me sweat because I sweat from everything. Oh, and a little bit of some gluten-free cornbread. Let's see what these things look like. A little cucumber salad action. Lunch is served. It's juice time. It is time to get psyched up. We are heading to the gym. The rain has stopped long enough, just long enough for us to be able to walk down here and not get soaking wet, but here's the vibe. It's about 2:30, 2:45. This is the normal time that I would either A, go for a surf, or B, get a little training in, or maybe a little of both depending on how things look. But since it's been a rain event yet again, we're sticking solely with the gym. I'm not sure if people will be coming and going, so basically here's how I'm gonna set this up. We're gonna go in and do a little stretching. It's always important to stretch first. We're gonna go nice, low, and slow. You don't wanna pull anything, just getting yourself warmed up. I'm gonna go through my whole workout routine for today, showing you guys. I will label what the exercises are, the reps, the sets, and the weights, and show you how we stay fit to surf every day. Stretching, one of the most important parts of surfing and training for surfing. We put our bodies through so much. You want to make sure you loosen everything up so that you don't pull anything or get hurt, because the last thing you want to do is keep yourself out of the water because you were working out too hard, or you didn't stretch hard enough, or something along those lines. Oh my gosh, I literally feel alive. This is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, whoo! Highly recommend this. Gets the blood flowing. All right, so back at the house, before I get cleaned up from training, my workout, the time in the pool, sauna, jacuzzi, all that good stuff, I like to get as much protein in me as I can, and since we are now trying to stay away from dairy, I am not doing the pre-made drinks anymore, trying to get a little bit more creative. So we went with some plant-based protein, a little almond milk, and we're gonna get that vibed up. Boom, give it a good little shake. That's the vibe. All right, y'all, we're back in the kitchen. We're about to get ready to cook a little dinner, and honestly, I feel like all we've been doing is eating today, but I am not a chef by any means. Let me make that absolutely clear. So when I personally am in the kitchen, I'm all about prep. I need to get as much done ahead of time. If there's any vegetables, and there's always vegetables, they need to be cut ahead of time. And I'm not super big on like measuring things or like following particular recipes. I kind of read a few things, kind of vibe like flavors, and then just kind of go from there. We already have started chopping up some Brussels sprouts. I got some white onion and whole garlic cloves and some organic sweet potatoes. And we're gonna kind of do, with the weather being so cool and rainy and chilly, we're kind of doing like a fall vibe, even though it is the first week of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. We're gonna kind of do just like this little fall Brussels apple, garlic, onion, sweet potato, chicken vibe, and we're gonna bake them both on sheet pans. As far as like adding like just a little bit of extra variety to a meal, anytime you can like add a little fruit, it just seems to have just such a nice crunch, texture, flavor, and I like the way the sweets complement with like salty things, so we'll see how this turns out. I'm not following like a particular recipe. I've never really made this before. So as long as Maile doesn't die eating it, we should be good. One random thing that I've noticed with organic produce over regular produce is I feel like it's got more blemishes and marks, bruises, and I don't know if that's something to say about like chemicals in our food that kind of like, you know, make it stronger in like not necessarily a good way, right? Next up, we got a nice big fat organic boneless skinless chicken breast. I'm just gonna cut this up into chunks. We're gonna salt and pepper it. All right, now that we got the food tossed in avocado oil, it's in the oven, and this should turn into a vibe. And fast forward, that's pretty much what you got. Healthy little vibe, a delicious dinner, and that's that. All right, y'all, the dishes are done. We are wrapped up from dinner. This has been quite a fun food day. I feel like, I said this earlier, but I feel like all I did today was eat, and that's not necessarily always a bad thing. Our life is a like journey, and food is our fuel, and you know, we don't always think about it. And I was telling Maile during dinner, I really enjoy cooking. I've been spending a lot more time cooking lately. She has been the primary cooker in our relationship, but as of lately, with my career shifting a little bit, I'm able to cook more. She's working a little later at her job, so I alleviate some stress for her, and I've been having a lot of fun, but it's been stressful. I told you I have a lot of anxiety and OCD, and being in the kitchen can be a little crazy sometimes, but it's been fun, and touching the food and cutting the food and smelling it has really like changed the way I feel about it a little bit. I feel like I eat a little slower, which my whole life I've really raced through my meals, always like off to get to the next adventure, right? When you're eating, slow down, enjoy, think about what's going into your body, where it's come from. If you haven't cooked it, you can still really enjoy it and like vibe with it, so to speak, but when you cook and you touch and you feel and you smell it, it just really changes that whole connection. And I don't know, get off my soapbox. But now it's the last little bit of the evening before I stretch and go to bed and wind down. We do a little hot tea. So I do a little sleepy tea, a little organic lemon tea, and then organic lemon ginger, and then my little sweet treat, a little single-sourced organic, I try to make it organic, dark chocolate. This is from Western Uganda. I definitely try to do that single source. And yeah, really enjoy the flavors of the chocolate. I take my time with it. It's not a bag of potato chips. It's something to really like savor. And if I'm gonna have something sweet, I wanna have something healthy. So this is, I guess, the healthy version of candy. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. It's really been fun to kind of show you a totally different side of myself and how I eat and keep myself healthy and fit. And the whole goal is to surf and have as much adventure as possible. And I feel like, you know, eating good quality healthy food is the key to that. Having a nice fitness regimen where you're getting the right cardio and the right strength training and a lot of, you know, recovery in the proper way. And we're able to really enjoy life. And that's what this is all about. Having fun, enjoying life, enjoying food and good times. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a little like and a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the food, the health, the fitness, the cold water immersion, any of this. But thankfully, while we do have another couple of days of rain ahead, next week's episode is looking fine and clear with sunny skies and waves, and I can already hear that water starting to get ready to boil, so I'm going to get on to the hot tea situation. Thank you all again for tuning in. I love making these videos, and this was a little stressful of an episode for me because it was something totally different, but I really enjoyed doing it. So comment below, let me know what you think, and yeah, until next week, y'all know the deal. Click right here to subscribe and right here to watch more videos, and I'll catch y'all on the next vibe.
Let it go, 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 넌 겨울 Yeah, girl you cold blood Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 그